Today we're doing a basic corrective makeup look. First, he started off with a clean face. Now I'm going to add moisturizer. Since we're going to be on the stage, the hot lights are going to most likely bring out oil, so we're going to mattify that oil with the moisturizer. I'm going to use an oil-free gel cream for oily skin types. Next, we're going to go in with a liquid foundation. This will just help even out his skin tone so he looks nice and clean from the stage. I want to make sure I'm blending all the way into his hairline and down into where his beard starts around his cheeks and his mustache. Next, I'm going to go in with some Corrective concealer. Since he has a couple red blemishes, I want to cover those up. I'm going to use green and a little bit of a skin tone to hide those blemishes. Going back in with the brush I used for my liquid foundation, just blending that in. From here, I'm going to go in with a translucent powder. This won't add any pigment to his skin, just set that liquid foundation. This will mattify his skin so he doesn't look so shiny underneath the lights. Now I'm going to go in with a bronzer, just a darker shade of brown, or medium brown, and contour around his temples here and a little bit across his beard here, maybe a little bit on his nose as well, just to help define the shape. I feel like I got a little bit too much over here, so I'm just going to buff it out with my powder brush. I'm going to use a smaller brush to go around his nose. Next, I'm going to go in and define his brows. We went over it with that foundation. I still want to make sure that they are full and can be seen from far away. They're pretty dark naturally, but I just want to brush through them to get rid of that foundation that's sitting on top. I'm just going to take a spoolie here and brush through his natural brows. As for his eyes, I'm just going to go back in with my bronzer and my smaller brush and just add a little bit of contour. I don't want to do too much, but I want to be able to see the outline of his eye, and so it's not just lid. What I'm doing is lifting up his excess eye and just doing up by the right underneath the brow bone, just to give it a little bit of shadow so we can see that definition of his eye. His lashes are pretty dark, but the same thing, since we went over with that liquid foundation, I'm just going to do a very, very light layer of mascara. For him, I focused on getting just the tips of his eyelashes. They just are a little bit more defined now. Finally, I'm going to go in with some lip color. I'm not going to use any color on his lips because they're already pretty pink naturally, but I just want to hydrate them with some chapstick. Now, lastly, since we have this lovely beard here, it's pretty dark already. Sometimes you may need to fill it in. I'm going to go through with the same spoolie that I used on his eyebrows and just brush it through to make sure it all looks the same shade. If you do see any bare spots, you can go in and fill them in a little bit. I see one right over here by his mustache, so I'm just going to go in with a brown pencil and lightly shade. Just adding a little bit of pigment. And there you have a basic corrective look for stage.